Have you ever noticed subtle changes in the way he treats you? Things you might have brushed off as coincidence or habit. Those little moments, the ones that feel almost too intentional, can reveal more than words ever could. When a man is afraid of losing you, his actions speak louder than anything he could say. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It's in the quiet moments, the thoughtfulness, the way he remembers things you said weeks ago, or how he checks in just enough to show he cares without crowding you. You might notice he listens differently now, truly listens, not just waiting for his turn to speak, but actually absorbing every detail of your day, your thoughts, and even your silent moods. Small things suddenly matter to him. The way you like your coffee, your favorite songs, or even that little story you told once and forgot. These aren't coincidences. They are proof that he's paying attention, that is emotionally invested, and that the idea of losing you terrifies him more than he might admit. He may also try to impress you quietly, without making a scene, because he wants you to see his best side. Compliments are no longer casual. They are sincere reflections of admiration for who you truly are, not just what you look like. And yes, jealousy might creep in over the smallest things, not because it's controlling, but because your presence and attention mean more to him than he can fully express. From prioritizing your needs over his own, staying calm during conflicts, to including you in future plans, every action is a sign that he values you deeply. He seeks your opinion, protects you in social situations, and expresses care without being overbearing. Even the smallest gestures, making time despite a busy schedule or showing consistency in his actions, are subtle, yet powerful signals. If you've been wondering whether he truly cares, these 15 moves will show you. They reveal not just attraction, but emotional depth, commitment, and a fear of losing the one person who matters most. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to read these signs, see the love behind his actions, and recognize when a man is genuinely emotionally invested in you, without him ever having to say a word. 1. They check in more often than before. When a man is afraid of losing you, he naturally becomes more attentive to your presence in his life. This doesn't mean he's controlling, but he wants reassurance that the bond you share is secure. You might notice texts or calls popping up at unexpected times, not out of obsession but from genuine concern. He wants to hear how your day went, how you're feeling, or even just to send a simple message to let you know he's thinking about you. This consistent check-in is a silent signal that he values your connection and fears what life would feel like without it. The frequency isn't overwhelming but noticeable enough that it signals care and intent. It's a shift from casual interaction to meaningful presence. Often, these check-ins come with subtle attentiveness, like remembering when you have important meetings, deadlines, or even personal challenges. It's his way of saying, without words, "You matter to me, and I don't want to lose you." If you pay close attention, you'll also notice that these check-ins carry emotional weight. He listens genuinely, responds thoughtfully, and invests energy into making you feel seen. The underlying message is not about controlling your time or space, but reinforcing the emotional safety and connection he fears losing. Over time, these small gestures reveal his emotional investment, highlighting that his feelings go deeper than surface-level attraction. They are rooted in genuine care and concern for your well-being. 2. They listen to everything you say. When a man fears losing you, listening becomes more than a casual habit. It becomes intentional and deeply attentive. He remembers your words, not because he wants to prove anything, but because he values your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. You'll notice him nodding or reacting to even small anecdotes, recalling details later in conversation, which demonstrates that he genuinely internalizes your experiences. This attentiveness is his way of connecting emotionally, showing that your voice matters more than anyone else's. Listening also means reading between the lines. He senses your moods, understands your unspoken cues, and often responds empathetically before you even articulate your feelings. It's subtle, yet it's a powerful signal of attachment. He doesn't just hear you. He actively absorbs your perspective, often referencing things you said weeks or even months ago to show he remembers. This behavior is rooted in fear of losing the bond you share. By fully understanding you, he aims to nurture trust and intimacy. The effort is constant, quiet, and intentional. He wants to be the person you feel safe with, someone who validates your emotions and supports your growth. Listening like this signals not just attraction, but profound respect and emotional prioritization. He wants to hold on to what makes your connection special. 3. They remember small details about you. Details matter when a man is afraid of losing you, because remembering the seemingly trivial things about you becomes a silent declaration of care. He recalls your favorite foods, the way you like your coffee, your favorite movies, or even the stories you casually mention about your childhood or family. To most people, these facts are minor, but to him, they represent touchpoints of intimacy, proof that is paying attention, that he values every layer of who you are. Remembering small details isn't about impressing anyone. It's about emotional connection and security. When he references them spontaneously, it often catches you off guard, making you realize that you're consistently on his mind. This habit reflects both affection and fear. The fear that if he lets moments slip by, the opportunity to deepen your bond might fade. Small gestures, like remembering your schedule or upcoming events, highlight his desire to show up for you in practical ways, not just emotionally. Over time, these accumulated memories become a foundation for his efforts to strengthen the relationship. They reveal intentionality, a subtle yet profound way of saying, I notice you, I care about you, and I don't want to lose you. It's this quiet attentiveness to detail that often distinguishes someone genuinely invested from someone casually interested. 4. They compliment you sincerely. When a man is afraid of losing you, his compliments go beyond superficial flattery. They become genuine reflections of his admiration and emotional investment. He notices not just your appearance, but your actions, intelligence, humor, and the subtle ways you make life better for those around you. These compliments aren't forced or over the top. They are quiet, thoughtful, and timed perfectly, often catching you when you least expect it. He may highlight your achievements at work, the kindness you show others, or even the way you handle difficult situations with grace. Each compliment carries emotional weight, signaling that he values your character, not just your presence. When delivered sincerely, it communicates respect and attachment. Unlike casual compliments, these moments are infused with vulnerability. He risks revealing how much he truly admires you because he fears losing the connection. Over time, his consistent acknowledgement of your worth becomes a reassuring pattern that strengthens emotional intimacy. He doesn't just want you to feel good in the moment. He wants you to understand that he sees you fully and treasures every aspect of who you are. 5. They try to impress you quietly. A man who fears losing you often wants to show his best self without being flashy or overbearing. He doesn't do grand gestures to boast, but instead focuses on subtle ways to demonstrate his qualities. This could be through showing his skills, helping with challenges you face, or quietly achieving personal goals that align with your values. The intention isn't vanity. It's a silent message. I want to be worthy of you. You might notice small acts like fixing something for you without being asked, sharing knowledge that benefits you, or demonstrating thoughtfulness in everyday life. These actions are deliberate yet understated, reflecting care and conscientiousness. By impressing you quietly, he hopes to reinforce your emotional bond and show that he can be relied upon, trusted, and appreciated. His fear of losing you drives him to consistently display his best qualities while keeping the focus on your connection rather than seeking attention or validation elsewhere. It's a subtle, mature form of emotional expression that signals investment and long-term intention. 6. They get jealous over small things. Jealousy, when mild and controlled, is often a sign that a man deeply values the relationship and fears losing it. When he notices you giving attention to others, even in seemingly insignificant ways, he may feel an emotional sting. This isn't about insecurity or possessiveness in a toxic sense. It's about emotional attachment. He notices when someone else makes you laugh more, seeks your opinion, or competes for your time. These small moments trigger protective instincts, highlighting that your presence and attention matter profoundly to him. The jealousy manifests subtly, a quiet change in tone, a brief pause, or gentle questions to understand your interactions. It's a reflection of care, not control. He wants reassurance that his emotional investment is reciprocated. Over time, these small cues signal his deep emotional involvement and commitment, as he quietly navigates his feelings while respecting your freedom. He fears losing your connection and reacts in nuanced ways that show both vulnerability and attachment. 7. They prioritize your needs over their own. When a man fears losing you, he naturally begins to consider your needs before his own, not out of obligation, but from genuine care and emotional attachment. This doesn't mean he neglects himself entirely. Rather, he subtly adjusts his priorities to ensure your comfort, happiness, and well-being are accounted for. It could be as simple as rescheduling his plans to support you during a tough day, helping you with tasks without being asked, or making thoughtful gestures that ease your stress. These actions aren't about showing off or earning favor. They stem from a deep desire to maintain the connection and demonstrate that your presence matters more than convenience or personal gain. Over time, consistently placing your needs first highlights emotional maturity and commitment, showing that his investment in you is not fleeting. This prioritization is a silent yet powerful signal. He fears losing you, so he acts to safeguard your bond by making you feel valued, understood, and supported consistently. 8. They stay calm during conflicts. A man who fears losing you understands that emotional stability matters more than being right in the moment. During disagreements or tense situations, he consciously maintains calm, resisting the urge to escalate arguments or react impulsively. His goal is not to avoid conflict entirely, but to navigate it thoughtfully, protecting the connection rather than winning a debate. By staying composed, he demonstrates respect for your emotions and shows that he values long-term harmony over short-term victories. This calmness communicates self-control and emotional intelligence, subtly reinforcing that he's someone you can rely on when challenges arise. He recognizes that emotional outbursts or heated exchanges could weaken the bond, so he consciously chooses patience, understanding, and measured responses. This behavior signals deep investment, as it shows he's willing to manage his own discomfort to preserve the relationship, reflecting both care and fear of losing you. 9. They seek your opinion on important matters. When a man fears losing you, he wants to involve you in decisions that matter to him. Seeking your opinion is more than casual conversation. It's a way of showing respect, trust, and emotional inclusion. He values your perspective and considers it seriously, whether it's about career choices, personal goals, or life plans. By consulting you, he communicates that your thoughts carry weight in his life, reinforcing your importance in a tangible way. This behavior reflects emotional intimacy. He's not just invested in your presence, but also in your influence, showing that he sees you as a partner rather than a bystander. It also subtly conveys vulnerability. By sharing important decisions and asking for input, he risks disagreement, yet he chooses honesty over ego. His fear of losing you drives this behavior, as he wants to strengthen the bond through shared respect, collaboration, and emotional transparency. Over time, this pattern builds trust and deepens the connection, making you feel valued and essential. 10. They avoid arguments that could hurt you. When a man fears losing you, he becomes mindful of how his words and actions affect your emotions. He understands that unnecessary arguments or harsh confrontations can create emotional distance, so he consciously avoids conflicts that could harm the connection. This doesn't mean he suppresses his feelings or avoids important discussions. Rather, he chooses to address sensitive topics thoughtfully, calmly, and with respect. He weighs his words carefully, ensuring that even disagreements are handled constructively. By prioritizing emotional safety, he signals that your feelings matter more than winning a debate or asserting control. This approach reflects maturity and emotional intelligence, as he balances honesty with care. His fear of losing you motivates him to foster harmony, maintain trust, and protect the bond from avoidable harm. Over time, this measured approach shows that he is not only invested in the relationship but also committed to creating an environment where both of you feel safe, respected, and valued. 11. They make time even when busy. A man who fears losing you recognizes that time is one of the most precious gifts he can offer. Even when his schedule is packed, he finds ways to carve out moments for you, whether it's a short call, a quick coffee, or simply being present for an important event in your life. This effort demonstrates that you are a priority, not an afterthought. It's a silent message that no matter how busy he gets, your presence in his life matters deeply. By making time, he reinforces emotional intimacy and trust, showing that he is willing to invest his energy and attention consistently. This behavior is rooted in both care and fear. He wants to strengthen the bond before circumstances or distance can weaken it. Over time, these small yet deliberate efforts accumulate, creating a sense of reliability and security that signals genuine attachment. 12. They show consistency in their actions. Consistency is one of the clearest signs of emotional investment. A man who fears losing you demonstrates it through reliable, predictable actions over time. He follows through on promises, maintains communication, and shows up when it matters most. These behaviors aren't one-time gestures. They're part of a pattern that communicates stability and trustworthiness. By being consistent, he reassures you of his presence, care, and intentions, reducing uncertainty in the relationship. This reliability signals that he values the connection deeply and fears losing it, so he invests in it steadily rather than sporadically. Emotional consistency builds safety, strengthens intimacy, and creates a foundation where both partners feel seen, valued, and secure. 13. They include you in future plans. When a man fears losing you, he naturally begins to envision a future that involves you. This goes beyond casual mentions of "we should do this someday." He actively integrates you into his plans, whether it's upcoming trips, career decisions, or life goals. By including you, he signals that your presence is not temporary but essential to his vision of life. This behavior communicates emotional investment and a desire for long-term connection. It also reflects trust. He values your opinions, preferences, and participation in decisions that shape his future. Including you in plans demonstrates that he is thinking ahead, not just living in the moment. It's a subtle yet powerful way of saying, "You matter deeply, and I don't want to imagine life without you." Over time, this shared forward-looking mindset strengthens emotional intimacy, creating a sense of partnership and stability. 14. They protect you in social situations. A man who fears losing you often displays protective instincts in social settings. This doesn't mean controlling behavior. It's more about attentiveness and ensuring your comfort and respect. He notices when someone behaves disrespectfully or encroaches on your boundaries and quietly intervenes, subtly reinforcing that he values your safety and dignity. He may guide conversations, support your perspective, or shield you from uncomfortable situations. These actions reflect emotional investment and loyalty. His protective behavior is a signal that he prioritizes your well-being and fears losing the connection if he doesn't actively nurture it. It's a mature and respectful form of care, showing that he wants to create an environment where you feel safe, valued, and appreciated. 15. They express care without being overbearing. When a man fears losing you, he carefully balances attention and space. He expresses care through meaningful gestures, thoughtful messages, and attentiveness without overwhelming or suffocating you. This could be checking in, remembering important details, or offering help at the right moment, all done with subtlety and respect for your independence. He understands that overbearing behavior can push you away, so he communicates affection and concern in a measured, thoughtful way. This balance demonstrates emotional intelligence, maturity, and genuine attachment. It's a silent reassurance that is invested in your happiness, values your autonomy, and fears losing the emotional bond. Over time, this consistent yet unobtrusive care strengthens trust, intimacy, and security in the relationship.